we separate what's real and what's no big deal in a segment we call the Something or Nothing. First up, Caleb's ballyhoo debut. Got the W, but not much else. Here's the stat line. 14 for 29, 93 yards, passer rating of 56. Let's see, completion percentage, third to last. Passing yards was worst of all starters, and yards per pass, that was also worst. So, Something or Nothing.
It's something.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. It's Bruce line and it's wrong.
It's something.
Okay.
Something good.
Okay.
It is.
Not even close.
If I'm not the performer Brew is. I don't have an IMDb. Listen, if I were to draw up the perfect way for the Bears to ultimately make the Super Bowl, which is what I have picked them to do,
Yes.
I can't think of a better start than they win a game despite the fact that Caleb plays terribly. If Caleb was either a little nervous, that those nerves hopefully will be gone, or, as some have speculated, not me, but some, was a little, full of himself going into it, like, this is going to be easier than people think. He now knows it's not. Mm-hmm. It is going to be a very hard week of practice and very hard film study for him and the offensive line and everybody on the offense before this was like a soft launch. This was in the 1 o'clock window with a dozen other games. Next week, national TV, Sunday night against C.J. Stroud. So then we'll get to really see it.
Yeah.
So, again, I do not think Caleb played well. I think he played very poorly, but I think it can be good for the Bears.
Yeah, for me, I think this is nothing. It's week one. He's a rookie.
Wow, it's
He's
so
getting his feet wet. I don't think that your offensive coordinator, in my opinion, Caleb, set you up for success.
Oh.
Everyone wanted you to just
What's
go
his
out there and just throw the ball around. Got to establish a run game to help and support a quarterback.
It's something for now.
Oh.
Meaning, I didn't see him getting to the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah.
I definitely don't see them getting to the Super Bowl now. Caleb, and I think long term he'll be fine. I think as the season goes on he'll be fine. But this is what I said. They're going to be growing pains.
Yeah.
He looked bad, any little sign of pressure, and he was running. All right, and what he found out was I can't run away from these guys like I could run away from Arizona State and all that stuff. So I think his on-schedule stuff, when he gave it time, wasn't great. Those passes he made on the run in the preseason, he wasn't making those yesterday. And this was the freaking Titans. We all, I think, picked the Titans to be last in the AFC South. All right, so I don't expect,
Is he still your Offensive Rookie of the Year prediction?
I'll stick with that prediction for now, but Jaden Daniels was much better yesterday than
Sure.
Caleb. So for now it's something, but, meaning I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl.
Wilds, you want to add something?
No, I'm rooting for him.
So your confidence is significantly shaken because of this performance.
Here's what I think is the fair take, not trying to give a hot take. If he came out and threw for 300 yards and looked like the Caleb that we were expecting, we were like, you know what?
Fair.
Better than expected. He threw for under 100 yards, was one of the worst starting quarterbacks, if not the worst, yesterday. And I think he's not where we thought he was going to be. Feels like he's behind schedule versus CJ, who was ahead of schedule. In the historic comps, you see Dak ahead of schedule, Big Ben ahead of schedule.
Okay.
Tom Brady, second year, ahead of schedule.
I think
he seems right now behind schedule, especially for a number one guy.
Okay. I think by mid-October he'll feel ahead of schedule.
Then he has to be at schedule. I'll tune in for my Caleb's schedule. I have it all down. Bake Show, hello. Talk about someone who's ahead of schedule. One of the best games of his entire career, 294 touchdowns, passer rating, 146. Holy cow. Something or nothing.
Oh, it's something. Listen, at some point the sample size becomes big enough.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's truly satisfying to know that Browns organization and fans, some of them, who ran him out on a rail would kill for Baker Mayfield right now and be a real contender. But Baker, his last 3 games, that's not a huge sample, but that's the playoff games and yesterday. Well, that's awesome. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What about his last 7 games? Now we're up to like half a season. Oh, That's still
298.
really awesome. 300 yards a game, 115 rating, last 7 games. By the way, since I brought up the Browns, Greg, here's Baker's last 7 games compared to Deshaun's entire career in Cleveland. He's only 300 yards behind him. He's already got him crushed in touchdowns and lapped in passer rating. So, now this, Brew, to your point earlier, this is another example of, oh yeah, awesome wide receivers helps. And Mike Evans is still great. Yeah. The kid they drafted in the 3rd round had a big game, and Godwin's still really good. But yeah, I mean, Baker's a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, this is something, man. And if I could go back, and re-etch who I had winning the AFC South, NFC South, excuse me, it would be them because of Baker.
Wow. So you're done with Kirk and the Falcons.
I'm saying I can't be because I can't.
Right. You know what?
Do that. But
Josh, are we going to let Greg?
No, we're not.
I'm going to.
It's okay.
Big show guy.
Well,
Baker's friend of the show. You can do that.
He's not turning the ball over. Like, he's super efficient. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. He's getting the ball to his playmakers. He's found a home, and he's there to stay, man. Like, Baker is the real deal.
Yeah. It's something. He looks great. And what I like is that, and this is what probably a lot of young quarterbacks could use, it's maturity.
Yeah.
And I get could break you, but for him, it made him. He had the talent, but he needed the maturity, and now he's grown up a lot, and it's showing on the field.
Greg, petition the First Things First court for a take a normal.
No.
And see what
on the schedule.
No.
Just petition.
Okay.
No.
Well, here's the other side. If you want to rip Kirk Cousins, trendy playoff pick Falcons, Kirk's debut, 16 completions, 155 yards, 2 interceptions. It's good with Bijan, but nobody else. Michael Penix was trending.
Yeah.
Something or nothing.
I think it's something as far as what it means for Aaron Rodgers, actually, which we'll discuss, and what it means. No, seriously.
Yeah, I know.
And what it's going to mean for the noise surrounding him. I think it's nothing in the aggregate, in the long term. I think this is this is my #1 draft pick for overreaction.
Oh,
is that the
overreaction draft.
but that the Falcons are actually cooked. I think that I think that is the biggest overreaction. I think Kirk looked incredibly rusty and looked like an older quarterback who hadn't played in months because he popped his Achilles, but I don't think that is indicative of how he'll play all year.
Okay.
And so I think I also think that you have the Eagles defense next compared to the Steelers defense, and that's night and day. And so I think that there is a very good chance that Kirk looks excellent a week from now, and everyone's like, oh man, that was an awful first week.
Okay.
So I'm not ready. The Penix thing to me is so hilariously premature, and I don't think that the Falcons are just, they're a terrible team. I think they got cooked by Tomlin, and T.J. Watt could have had 3 forced fumbles in this game. He was awesome, but I think the Falcons are going to be fine, and Kirk will be fine.
Yeah, I think it's something simply because this is a team that has expectation on them, a quarterback that has expectation, a quarterback that's been paid, a quarterback that's coming off of injury. And when we look at Kirk in the past, none of these were the case. Like, he kind of just flew underneath the radar, and then he just was Mr. Consistent. He's going to give you 4,000 yards passing, 30-plus touchdowns, and all the things. And to get off to a slow start, when you see a Baker Mayfield and that team who has a level of consistency, I think that's why they're going to hurt him, not just simply because of Kirk.
That's fair.
I think it's something because we've already heard too much Michael Penix Jr. noise, and it's just going to get louder and louder if this continues. And even the Falcons, they don't want to put Penix in this early. I don't mean this early in the season. I mean this year. Because of all the money you paid Kirk. And if he's not playing well, he's not tradable. So they have to stick with Cousins, and you don't want this Penix Jr. noise to get too loud among the fans. So, yeah, I think it's something.
Okay. All right. We forced this one in. We didn't even really want to talk about it. Daniel Jones.
Well, for one guy.
2 interceptions, 5 sacks, was heckled by his own fans.
That was mean.
You might be thinking, well, surely he was under duress. No, that's the Bud list. This is when he was not facing pressure. Still poorly.
Those are his numbers.
Yeah, no
without pressure.
Without pressure.
Okay, so you can't use that off. Terrible offensive line.
Saquon Barkley there.
That's true.
Great job.
Helps to have a good running back.
Great job.
Something or nothing.
No, it's nothing.
It's nothing?
Just who he is.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not. It's
Well,
not,
some people thought
it's
he's
not.
great.
Is it something or nothing that tomorrow's Tuesday when today's Monday? No, it's nothing.
All right.
It's just what it is.
Putting Greg in a bad spot.
No, listen. He.
It's okay.
It's okay. We all have bad takes occasionally.
It's nothing.
He's terrible.
Well,
No. There's no like.
Not
But what
everybody
about
thinks
this?
that.
He's had 60 career starts. This was the 20th where they didn't have a passing touchdown.
That's not great, Greg.
Yeah, it's not. And I mean,